Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Little White Lines. This will be the last one I do on a weekend. I'm going to try to spread this out just a little bit more. Just kind of make it last, try to make it something that people can look forward to. Today, we're going to be talking about my relapse and getting into towing, moving back to New Mexico, and just the good and the bad and everything in between. So, this is your first time here. If you're watching from YouTube or listening from YouTube, hit that like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for every time I upload. And if you're listening on Spotify and iTunes, welcome. I will soon have this on Google and iHeartRadio as well, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So, this isn't my first time in New Mexico. In fact, I used to live out here a while back when I first got into the trucking career. After my first divorce, I had a girlfriend out here. And I don't know, something about New Mexico women are crazy. I've completely made it a point to myself to never date anyone from New Mexico. But let's talk about Albuquerque. Albuquerque is the kind of place you don't want to go to if you're trying to get sober, stay clean. Albuquerque is the kind of place where a family can, just pass through, stop at a hotel for the night, and end up getting all the shit stolen. In fact, there's a family that was moving from one state to another, and they stopped in Albuquerque, and somebody stole their whole U-Haul with the car and everything. All their belongings. That kind of gives you the idea of what Albuquerque is like. Now, I ended up living kind of in Rio Rancho, which is like a nicer area, My girlfriend at the time, her family was pretty loaded, so to say. She had, she was spoiled. She was definitely spoiled. She had everything she wanted. Everything was given to her, handed to her, and she didn't know what work was. In fact, I always have this tendency to date women that don't have jobs. I thought she was going to be like a phlebotomist or something, and I don't know. I don't know. But enough about that. Basically, I ended up getting a tow trucking job. And driving tow truck was one of the best experiences of my entire life. Like, I enjoyed the hell out of it. I got to meet the people, the good and the bad. I got paid okay. I didn't like that it was bi-weekly. That kind of sucked. But I got to learn something new and add it to my resume. And it's something I'll always have, And it was kind of nice to actually be driving something again, Like, I hated the fact that I lost pretty much my trucking career, but at least I can get into something like that didn't require me to use my CDL. And it was good. I worked the daytimes, worked from like 5 or 6 days a week, 10 to 11 hours a day. They were scheduled shifts. Eventually I wanted to go on nights because it was kind of fast paced, and I didn't like the heat. I didn't like the daytime, but what got me to slip was I actually wanted to stay late one time just to make some extra money, make some extra calls, because I didn't really get that many calls that day. And I ended up going to a call where there was a police chase. And once everything was said and done, I was getting the car, and I went into the car to put it in neutral, and right there, right on the passenger seat, actually it was on the floor, but I mean there's paraphernalia everywhere, but there's a damn quag, which is like a bong but for a meth pipe. Yeah. And it kind of triggered me. It really did. I was doing good. I didn't have no cravings until I fucking seen that. That sucked. That really sucked. Because I was there for like 2 or 3 months, I want to say, if not longer, where everything was okay and I was living life, and I didn't know about, what I was going to do with my trucking career. I thought I was going to give up on it, but I was happy with my towing career. So seeing that kind of brought like the demons out, and I ended up grabbing it, and there was stuff left in, and my dumbass fitness was like, well, cool, I can fucking work even more now because I gotta sleep. Everybody's gotta sleep eventually. So I ended up smoking it. It was alright stuff. I just it didn't really give me the buzz that I was looking for, but it did something. But then I found out, like, you know, Albuquerque, New Mexico, like they mix their shit with fentanyl, so I think that's probably what ended up really getting me really fucking hooked. Like hooked to, like, for bad subpar shit, you know, I can easily drop, but for some reason I wanted more and more and more. Now, it could be just regular meth does that to fucking people, but if you think about it, I went all this time not craving it. I went all this time not looking for it, not wanting it, but all of a sudden now I'm fucking craving it? What? Like, all of a sudden now I want it? What? And I knew where all the shady places were, and like people will say that now Albuquerque's a whole different story when it comes to talking to, you know, random people and fucking buying it, because these motherfuckers would get high literally on the stairwell at a hotel, and it was easy to find, and that's what I would do. I'd buy a little bit here and there, go to work, and then I go back to my old ways, basically. And I want to say depression also kind of, you know, made me slip a little bit, maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. Just maybe I'm just an addict, you know. But losing my trucking career, you thought I would have learned, fucking this shit ain't gonna do nothing for me. But again, I lost my career when I wasn't doing nothing. I was sober, so that's it's kind of messed up, I guess. So I ended up finally getting my night shifts, and they were going pretty good. I had a couple weird nights where, like, I'd go tow somebody. Like, I had this one car that I had to tow. It was up in the mountains. 3 o'clock in the morning. They went to a wash. It was a little Ford Focus. And I went down this, like, a little one-lane road, and I seen them. I went to go winch them out. And all of a sudden, this Hummer pulls up. You know, and they're honking at me. And, like, I'm like, yo, really? I'm fucking trying to help these people out. And they honk at me again. I'm like, motherfuckers. Like, and then I screamed. I said, fucking wait. So I told them, fucking wait. But louder. And 4 of these, like, big old Mexican dudes get out, fucking guns and shit. What? You know, blah, blah. And you best believe, oh, yeah, my bad, bro. My bad. And I let them go through. Yeah, I bitched out. Wouldn't you, when you had fucking 4 dudes in a Hummer point guns at you? One dude had an AK-47. Like, the fuck? That kind of shows you the kind of place Albuquerque is. And that, it's bad. You know, the fentanyl thing was just terrible. I never got into that. Never did any downers. I was always into the uppers and shit. And, like, seeing people on that stuff is just fucking crazy. But this, you know, eventually, this, whatever I was taking, like, if it was meth mixed with fentanyl, whatever it was, it made me very fucking antisocial. Very fucking antisocial. Like, where I didn't even want to go home. I just wanted to sit in my car. I wanted to read. I wanted to, you know, watch YouTube videos. I wanted to learn something, because I was always that kind of person. Like, when I got high, I learned. It's stupid, I know. But I ended up just staying in my car, and then I'd start working on my car, like tweaker shit, you know. And it kind of got in between me and my ex, and, like, she thought I was being distant, being, you know, rude, weird, whatever. And maybe I was at the time. Like, I didn't know what to say or what to do. Like, I didn't really want to be around her or the kids when I was fucking high. You know, I'd rather be at work or be in my fucking car. And eventually this had to stop, though, because soccer season was starting, and there's a opening for, you know, well, they needed volunteer coaches, and I thought, you know, this would be a good time to occupy my free time. So I ended up putting it down. Now, mind you, I did have some cravings, and I was sleeping like a mofo, and, like, I was working like shit, and, like, it was all bad, but I ended up, you know, dropping it. And I became a soccer coach. Best time of my life. Learned a lot, taught a lot. Like, it really empowered me, made me really fucking happy. I was teaching her kids soccer, and then her kids were in karate, and like they were going to the championships, and like everything was good again for a little while. And then her and I got in a fight because I wanted to sleep, and the kids were being loud, and she wouldn't take them downstairs or wouldn't do anything, you know. And I said, well, you mind if I just get a hotel room for the night, you know, like just so I can sleep, because I really wanted to sleep. I wanted to actually just be normal, you know. And she got all mad and buttered and pissed off, and like I ended up saying something pissed off. I was like, I said, oh yeah, I was walking out because I think we pretty much said, you know, I'm done, blah blah blah, that type of shit. I said, well, have fun finding a new fucking dad or some stupid shit like that. And she got mad, punched me in the face twice. I didn't do nothing back. I don't fucking hate women. I probably deserved it. So we ended up breaking up, and we separated for a couple weeks. Now I did end up getting my sleep, but as soon as I woke up, I went to work, and then I ended up picking up like an 8-ball, and like that's when shit really got fucking bad, because I would smoke and smoke and smoke even more. Every time I was off, I'd be getting high. Every time, even when I was on, I was getting high. Like I was getting high non-fucking stop. Bad. No routine, nothing. Like, wasn't following my own rules, wasn't doing shit but get high, work, and I was staying on a weekly and shit. And like, people were starting to notice because I wasn't following my routine. I was losing weight, acting different, fucking just, you know, saggy eyes, saggy face, fucking, you could tell, you know. And of course, I kind of picked it up and started, you know, eating more and you know, cleaning up more and fucking trying not to look so tweakerish and shit. Like, it almost really got a hold of me in a bad way. Well, a couple weeks go by again, and her and I start talking, and like we decide we wanted to work shit out, you know. But I was already kind of like getting back into my ways, and it just wasn't the same. I didn't have the same feelings for her that I did. It could have been the dope that just killed my feelings. Just I wasn't happy no more. I had no feeling of happiness, and so I gave up. But we're gonna talk more about the second part of our relationship after the breakup, right after this. So we did end up getting back together, but I would still slip into the old ways of, you know, getting high and shit while I was at work, and sometimes I would hyper focus on like stupid shit, you know. I would for instance, I wrote a book. Let's talk about this book for a second. This is the first time a lot of you guys are going to hear about this book. Actually, I think this is the first time anyone's going to hear about this book, besides like some people off Reddit and some people off the website. I ended up creating a website called After Dark Secret. That's basically my venting, my meth website, my fucking everything. I just wanted to type. I typed on that website. I ended up writing a book, and I think in this next section I'm going to read what I have written in this book to you all. The book, I didn't really have a name for it yet, but I guess the best thing I could call it at the time was the Meth Bible. Now, it wasn't for worshiping at all. In fact, what it was for was addicts that are getting into using drugs or are using drugs. They don't want to stop until they choose to, right? But why can't we tell them or show them how to use safely or how to somewhat be fucking normal? It's drugs. I get it. You know, people are going to have their, someone out there is probably laughing at this, like, what the fuck is the moron saying? Well, it's called harm reduction. Harm reduction basically is exactly how it sounds. You're trying to make it to where, if they're going to use safely. So in my book, we got the table of contents, and here's where we're going to read the whole thing. So this podcast is going to be a little bit longer. This is the type of shit that I came up with. So, table of contents. So I said, warning. For legal reasons, I must note that I am not a doctor. Everything in this book is based on personal experience. There is to be no replication or distribution of this book. This book is for general informational purposes only. The author is not a medical professional, and nothing in the publication constitutes medical advice. To reduce the risk of an injury, consult your doctor before beginning any exercise program. The materials presented in this publication is no way substitute medical counseling. You must not avoid or delay medical treatment because of anything contained in this publication. Now, that was an actual agreement that you kind of have to put in a book like this to not get sued. So I also say about this book, and maybe I won't do the whole one because I did write a lot in it. But if you guys are interested in the book, let me know. I do plan on finishing it one day, and also writing a sequel. This podcast is supposed to be like the sequel, and I was just gonna copy a bunch of words from the podcast and then put it in the book. But we'll talk about that more later. But I said this is not a Narcotic Anonymous book. This is survival. I get it. You're in a hyper-focused state right now. Maybe you're a new user scared of what's to come. Maybe you're already pro, but want to improve yourself visually. Or maybe you're already in the gutter and lost. No matter the case, you chose to open this book and read it. Now just remember, this book is not to preach to you or tell you to get clean. We all know that we addicts will choose to get clean when we're officially ready and willing to do it. This book is also not going to tell you how bad using drugs is, because we know. We hear it every day. No, this book is purely made to help you survive your addiction journey. Every harm reduction site out there is always preaching to us about how bad meth is, how we need to get help, and how it's destroying us. While that may be a case for some, it's not always true. Millions of people use meth and have stopped easily, while millions more have continued to use and did just fine or struggled. Whatever the case may be, everyone that used just needed something to help them use it safely. Now understand everything in this book is from personal experience, as well as experiences from others that truly allowed them to live a somewhat normal day-to-day life. Note to everybody out there, when you're on drugs, nothing is normal. Also understand that you are not messed up or a failure. You're a human being needing the guidance. It's up to you to get sober. Again, this is not a get sober book. This is a safe space. This is your guide. And I put, to the sober critique, this book was made to help those that need guidance for survival. We all come from different walks of life. Meth addicts will get help when they're ready. Yes, we've heard it all before. Meth is bad. It destroys families. Meth users are nasty. Blah, blah, blah. The constant stigma against addicts doesn't help us get clean. How do we survive until we're ready? Until there's proper health care in the U.S., this includes mental health. This book will be out there for everyone who needs guidance to survive. As an addict, I relate to and know what's going on from living it, unlike the doctors, lawyers, police, and average non-users. So judge this book, hate it, do and say everything you need to say to delete it, but it will not stop the ones needing it from reading it and using it. Survival is key on the streets. There's no counseling here, no doctor's links, no judgments, just pure knowledge and guidance from those who are living it and still, or those who lived it and are still living it. So there you go. Again, the book is not finished, but if you guys want to see what I have done, there's a few chapters. Let's see. The word count. We've got over 5,564 words in there right now. So there's a lot in there still. But that was the kind of shit I would do, you know? And of course, I'd update my website because I couldn't talk to nobody. I hid this the best I fucking can. And what really sucked is when I was done and wanted to get clean, because I hate it so much, I had no outlet. I had no one to talk to. I had to be clean alone and do everything alone. I had no friends to cheer me on for the days I do good or cheer me up. And like, it's a lonely fucking world out here. It really is. The irony of all this is, in the beginning, when I did it, I had the confidence to make friends, to talk, to be the superhuman being I've always wanted to be. But then what it did to me is it took that part and said, okay, yeah, you can have a little bit of it, but now we're going to take a little bit more of you. We're going to take your soul. We're going to take your happiness that you have. That shimmer of light in my life, in the beginning, when I was happy and dumb and hyper and, you know, excited about everything and laughed at everything, died. And now, even today, when I'm as a sober person, I feel normal, but I don't have the same happiness that I used to have. In fact, it's just heartache, sadness, loneliness, but like, I don't want to put myself out there to talk to people either. I don't know how to explain it. It killed a piece of me. It killed a piece of my soul. It killed the person that I was. It killed it put out the light inside of me. I'm hoping one day that like I'll be the same, you know, maybe I'll get like some antidepressant meds or whatever, but I don't know. It seems to take time, you know. We all started, like the people, like all of us that start using have a reason to use. And I have my reason, but eventually it's just a temporary fix. It's a band-aid, and eventually it will take you over and it will destroy you. Because all it takes is one time to slip from the Bible. All it takes is one time to slip from your routine. All it takes is one thing to set you off, to get a drug test, to fucking fail it, and to change your whole life. And that is how it wins all the fucking time, because it only takes one time, one thing to completely destroy you. I can't do relationships much anymore. You know, the second time that Alexis and I, I told her I'd probably release her name, but A and I got back together, you know, I separated myself and was depressing, and like I just wasn't good. And so, you know, she ended up breaking up with me on my birthday. And I had to go to work that night, and you know, I had a really I couldn't talk to nobody about what's going on. People look at it as just another breakup and shit, and like, that's just fucking depressing, especially when a woman that you love, that you fucking love, breaks up with you. And she didn't know what's going on. She did not know that I was using. She didn't know what was happening. And if she did, then she's kind of fucked up, because she's been through that shit too as an addict, and she could have helped me. I literally had no one to reach out to, no hand to grab, no one to pull me up. I had to pull myself up. I had to pull myself out. It was a learning experience. But I had a gun. And it was late. And I was just fucking sad and depressed. And like, I ended up posting a video on Snapchat of me ready to fucking, like, I just wanted to kill myself. I was trying to reach out. I was trying to get somebody just to fucking say, hey, dude, do you want to talk? But I didn't know how to fucking do it besides doing something extreme. But the weird thing is like, a lot of people would say that I was doing it for attention when I threw it on my Snapchat to my friends that talked to me on Snap, not on YouTube. And now I get mocked a lot. Oh, there's a guy that tried to commit suicide with the clip, like whatever the fuck they say. I didn't take that video and post it on YouTube. And that's the kind of shady shit that fucks with me, that really fucking hurts me. That somebody would take something I'm feeling like personally hurt, and I'm feeling vulnerable and emotional, and they took that and threw it on YouTube for some views and drama. In other words, kick a dead horse while he's already down. That fucked me up. But it also made me realize that people from YouTube, they'll pretend to be your friend until you don't do what they say, or fucking get an argument, and then they'll try to burn you. And they all do it. I used to have fun with the YouTube drama. Well, it's all the same shit every fucking day, and it's just not even fun anymore. I've never, I don't ever want to apologize to all the people I start shit with, because they went with it too. But I have personally dropped a lot of beef with some people, some people that never even deserved the beef in the first place. Some people that I've never, had a problem with or even knew until some other people, drama people, introduced me to them, and I've already told that story. But I get dragged into the most fucked up, shittiest situations when I'm just trying to this is why I can't be myself. This is what I put myself in these situations to gain friendships and to be a part of something, but it fucks me over regardless, whether it be drugs, friendships, fucking getting set up, and used, whatever the fuck the case may be. And I have found that, letting people just say what they want to say about you and just not even reading the comments no more, I finally learned how to do it effectively. And that's just by not caring about YouTube, not caring about the one thing that made me smile. It's hard for me to post a vlog. It's hard for me to post any type of video. I could post podcasts, no problem, but everything else is just dead to me. So sometime this week, the next episode, we're gonna talk more about New Mexico and the breakup and everything else that transpired and how I got accused for stealing a car. And I want to put this out there. I never stole a car, never received a stolen car. It was the most dumbest fucking thing in the world. I'm gonna stick to my guns on that. On my kid, yo. I don't fucking steal. Even when I got high, I always earned my own money. I don't fucking steal. I earn my own money. Alright? I work. I don't give a shit whether it's doing DoorDash. I don't give a shit whether it's towing. I don't care. Whatever the case may be, I work for my own. I have never borrowed money to buy drugs with. So people I have borrowed money from was to pay bills, was to pay a lawyer, and ask them. I have paid half of my debt off already. I'm proud of myself for that. There's not a lot of motherfuckers that do that, because I still know some fucking dumb meth heads that try to borrow money from me all the time, and I'm blocking them, because I know what they're about. I know what they're gonna do. I'm a different breed. That's all I'm gonna say. So anyway, thank you all for listening. I know this was a little bit of a longer one, but I wish you all a wonderful day. It'll probably be a few days before I post again, because I've kind of threw these out, and I'm just trying to get some more people. So share this out with your friends, family, or some of them might need it, that need something to listen to, that might want a story. And if you guys are interested in the book and the website, shoot me an email at misfittrucker75@gmail.com. I'll send it to you. And you can also find it at After Dark Secret. I think I switched it from WordPress to Google the Google sites. It was called afterdarksecret.wordpress.com, if I remember correctly. Hold on. After Dark Secret. And if you guys are wondering how did I get traffic on there, Reddit. Reddit was my go-to to share stuff like that, and I ended up just giving away like almost a couple thousand copies of my half-made book. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, so it's afterdarksecret.wordpress.com. It'll have the Meth Survival Guide, the Journey of Addiction in real time, and it's just basically my blog. It tells a lot of shit that I told in here, and then I will have an updated link of the Meth Bible in there as well. So be sure to check that out if you guys want to. First time I'm sharing it with everybody out there. But all right, thank you all for listening, and I will catch you all next episode. Have a good day.